The concept is living things are made of cells. It is a stage 4 of the science syllabus, and it's a Year 8 class that is low ability with 25 students. The activities follow the 5 E's learning model, which is a constructivist approach to learning. The school is situated in a low socio-economic area. The science class students are recognised as low ability students. Caro, 2009, states a positive relationship between socio-economic status, SES, and academic achievement, and a gap between students of low and high SES families. He goes on to discuss that inequality between children of low SES families and high SES families tend to increase as they move from kindergarten to high school, and that learning follows a cumulative process. The school has been funded under the Smarter Schools Low Socio-Economic Status. Under the plan for provision of the innovative tailored learning opportunities, the Science Lab has been equipped with 25 ThinkPads, 5 new microscopes, prepared slides, stationery wear that stays in the classroom. As stated by Yeo ETL 2008, teacher efficacy is the important attribute of effective teaching and its impact on students' outcome of low achieving students. An effective learning environment is essential. Brophy 2008 states that you need a well-organised classroom. This classroom is well equipped with 2 whiteboards and a place for all the equipment and room to move. Positive statements such as the best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today, and classroom rooms are on a small blackboards around the room. The first activity's aim is to engage students and elicitate any prior knowledge of the concept, living things are made of cells, which is the first phase engagement of the 5E learning models. Students watch a PowerPoint of different things and tick a worksheet if they think it is living or not. An individual worksheet was chosen as it is important for a teacher to assess and have an understanding of each student's knowledge and misconception of the concept. A study done by Cedric, ETAL 1978, found that most children overextend the scientifically accepted concept of a living thing and consider fire, volcanoes, rivers and the sun to be living due to the expanding characteristics of movement and energy. The second step in the activity is a brainstorm of characteristics of living things. The teacher will say, how do we know something is living? And write on the board, characteristics of living things. Students actively do the brainstorm on the whiteboard. As a class, this will motivate and engage the students, and the teacher will be observing students' prior knowledge and any misconceptions. Engaging questions need to be asked by the teacher to prompt and focus the students. For example, do all living things have bones? What about jellyfish, etc.? When these things have been eliminated as not characteristics of living things, the teacher will prompt the right terminology. For example, pooing. Do all living things poo like us? What about bacteria that live on your teeth and cause plaque? They're a living thing, but do not poo like us. Bacteria loves the sugar you eat, but they excrete and eliminate acid as a waste product that causes the holes in your teeth. Let's call pooing elimination. This activity is about engaging students and eliciting prior knowledge. As stated by Viviska, 2009, an essential component of the constructivist approach is to elicitate prior knowledge so they can make a connection and build an understanding of any new knowledge that they'll learn in the following activities. Seville, 2002, states that what students already know about a topic is the most important factor to consider, as it will either be a bridge to new learning or a barrier to new learning. The importance of connecting prior knowledge to new knowledge is paramount, and this activity's specific task is to elicitate prior knowledge so it can be connected to the new knowledge that will be built in the following activities. This activity has links to outcome 4.81A of the New South Wales syllabus and 4.12, 4.22 and 4.23. This is the exploration phase of the 5E's learning model, and it is a guided inquiry-based activity. The aim of this activity is for students to explore and investigate samples of living organisms under a microscope and identify that the samples all have similar structures, round or rectangular boxes that often appear to have things inside of them. A few days before the start of these activities, the teacher had asked students, what kind of organisms would you like to look at under the microscope? By involving the students in the organisation of the activity, students will be more engaged and motivated. At the start of the prac, the teacher will ask an engaging question. Do you look like bacteria, a dog or a plant? What do we all have in common? The teacher will demonstrate and prepare an onion slide to examine under the microscope. This procedure falls short of the inquiry-based learning, as the I do is done before the you do. Students will then be shown how to get cells from inside their cheeks and how to prepare their own slides. Students will be given a clear direction to draw their samples and identify all the trends of the sample slides on their own worksheets. After they've discussed, compared and examined the cheek cells, prepared slides of onion, blood, bacteria, paramecium and leaf cells as a group. As stated by Breckman, ETAL 2009, a guided inquiry such as this activity needs to be modified from the inquiry lab due to students needing more direction because of their limited scientific skills in investigation. BB-ETA 2009 states that the aim of the exploration phase is to establish an experience that the teacher and students can later use to introduce and discuss their scientific skills of the concept being investigated. This activity will result in students' mental and physical involvement that will establish a relationship between different organisms having similar structures and patterns at a microscopic level. This activity has links to 4.81a, 4.14, 4.12, 4.18, 4.22 and 4.23 of the New South Wales syllabus. The aim of this activity is for students to use common terms that relate to their experience in engagement and exploration phase of prior activities. As stated by BB 2009, this phase is teacher-directed, as students' attention is directed to specific aspects of the engagement and exploration experience and to clearly connect it in the explanation. The strategy used is a handout that students work off to answer a worksheet and a study games website to express and practice their understandings of the concept. As a class, students read the handout with the teacher prompting and directing, asking engaging questions of specific parts of the sheet. And in groups of 4, students answer the worksheet, where they have a chance to discuss and collaborate their ideas and understanding. The answers are short, as you want students to answer in a clear and direct way. In question 5, students have to make up their own question and answer. This is so students think more critically about their understanding of the concept. Students then add question 1 and 5 to the Living Things Quizlet Games website, definition and terms board. Students then practice on the website individually, which is student-centered. The Quizlet is a free flashcards and study games website that the students are experienced in. Studies done by Page 2002 found that technology-enriched classrooms was positive for students' interaction of work and found that their self-esteem rose with the techniques used. Flashcards can be used as a strategy to help students practice their new built knowledge of the concept. The audio can be turned on.
True, false, all living things grow? True.
And is a great technique for students that have problems with reading. The speller tool also helps with students' literacy skills.
All living things on Earth are made of?
Farabendi 2007 discusses the importance of practicing literacy skills in an interactive way to keep students engaged and motivated. Learn keeps track of everything you know and don't know and is also audio prompted. Scatter is a games-based and is fun and interactive. Students are racing against the clock and their own records. The test can generate multiple choice questions and is student graded. The Quizlet is an excellent student-based tool to work on students' knowledge of the concept and their literacy skills and meets the criteria of explanation phase, act or process in which concept, process or skills become plain, comprehensible and clear. BB 2009. This activity has links to 4.81a, 4.15, 4.12, 4.18, 4.22 and 4.23 of the New South Wales syllabus science. The aim of this activity is for the teacher to propose a problem that requires students to apply their new knowledge to. I need evidence that this piece of cork and plastic gauze was once living. In groups of 4, students will be given the cork and the plastic gauze and directed to think about everything they have learned so far. The teacher will then direct students to think about procedures that they can do to provide evidence. By students working in groups that have the same level of understanding, they will have the opportunity to discuss the concept and work cooperatively to come up with ideas to solve the problem. As stated by BB 2009, after a student has an explanation, they need a further experience, such as the problem, to apply, extend and evaluate the concept and skills they have learned. If the students have understood the concept, they should come to the conclusion to look at the specimens at a microscopic level to see if cells are present. This activity involves students to think critically and evaluate their understanding of the concept and to use the laboratory skills. After students propose their evidence to the teacher will ask the question, what does a living thing have that a non-living thing doesn't? All students should be able to answer cells. The teacher and students have assessed their understandings of the concept. All living things are made of cells. The syllabus outcomes of this activity are 4.1a, 4.14, 4.12, 4.18 and 4.23 of the Science New South Wales syllabus.